I'm reading the book Grit right now by Angela Duckworth. A great book, highly recommend. And while I was reading it, I was like, you know what would be an interesting Instagram post is if I talked about my failed career as an NBA dancer and what it taught me about passion and perseverance. So for some backstory for you, in my early 20s, I really wanted to be a dancer for the Portland Trailblazers. I wanted to dance on a basketball court to loud ass music in a spray tan, fake lashes, long hair, and just dance it out. That's what I wanted. But I did not have the skill set. I mean, I did dance team in high school, so I knew I had rhythm, but I definitely did not have the technique. So I thought, okay, what is going to get me closer to this goal? Because right now I am incredibly far from achieving this. So what's going to help get me there? There are lots of internet and social media stalking. One thing that I learned was that a lot of NBA dancers first start on semi-professional dance teams. And so I looked at the semi-professional team that was in my city. I watched their YouTube video routines over and over again just to analyze like their choreography, how quick the routines were, all the leaps and jumps and stuff that I didn't know how to do and couldn't do yet. I would practice in my living room in front of the mirror when my roommates weren't in the apartment and pretend that I was on stage. And I didn't really know how to do the routines, but I would try to like mimic things in front of the mirror that I thought they did, lots of hair flips and showmanship, and as if I was actually performing on a basketball court, right? Sounds super cheesy, but I totally did it. And here's the most important freaking thing that I did is that I reached out for help. I sought out resources. So I didn't know who to ask for help necessarily, but I reached out to like a local dance studio that was intended for younger kids. And I explained via email my story and that I was looking for somebody to tutor me and teach me private lessons in order to help me prepare myself for these auditions for this semi-professional dance team. I go to the studio after long ass days at the salon and practice and prepare. And I prepared for months for these auditions, right? And I wasn't great, but I at least knew that I prepped myself to the best of my ability. And I went to these auditions, gave it my all, and I didn't make it. But fun fact, 2 months later, I got a call and one of the girls had gotten pregnant with her first baby. And so I got on the team. And long story short, I ended up dancing on that semi-professional team for 2 years. And, initially when I sought out all this stuff, this was going to be my stepping stone to then audition for Blazer dancers. But here's what I learned from that situation. In order to make these big, lofty ass goals happen, you got to have two things. And this homegirl Angela, author of this book, is helping me now realize this in retrospect. But the first thing is you genuinely need to feel passionate about what it is that you're after. And then the second thing is you need to have the perseverance to continue with your efforts for the long haul. Maybe you want to open a salon, maybe a studio suite, maybe you want to become an educator. Whatever it is that you want to do in hair world, these big, lofty, wonderful dreams that you have, first ask yourself, are you truly passionate about this? Can you visualize yourself doing it? Can you see yourself in it? Second thing is, are you willing to put in the work for the long haul? Do you have the perseverance for this specific pursuit? And for me, with trying to do the Blazer dancer thing, I just didn't anymore. I didn't want to continue to spend years in order to make that a reality because I knew deep down that it would take me at least another 2-3 years in order to make that happen. And so it's okay if you have this pursuit and you're like, you know what? The passion isn't big enough. And I don't want to persevere and do everything that it's going to take in order to build this salon or have this team or whatever it is. So that's the story. Passion, perseverance, you got to have both. Now go read this book.